Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Industrialcraft. So I was kind of thinking about some sort of power generation, and I'm not quite sure how I really want to do this. So I mean, if we put the solar panel up here, right? Yeah. No, you always need to place the other thing first, don't you? Pick. I don't need that for now. But yeah, I mean, you know, if the last episode was kind of a little bit technical, this one is going to be the opposite, because I don't really want to do technical every time. Let's try to think what I want to do with this. I'll put a back box here, and I'll put a solar panel here, and it starts getting more power. Put another solar panel here, not there. Power does seem to be increasing even more. Because what I'm thinking of doing is trying to do one of those power flow things. Now, I'm not quite sure exactly how they work, but I should be able to work it out. I believe there is actually a cable going in between, like something like, you just put that there. Because in theory, you can put another solar panel like right on top there, and this is a way to get, like, you know, it's basically the most efficient you can sort of get, because that's going to still be feeding in, I think. Yeah, that's really going up. Well, you know what? I'll leave the power flower thing, because I get the feeling that it's not actually that difficult to do, and I just need to work out how we do it. But what we do know is our back box is doing all right now. So let's just let's get my cable, and let's make sure it doesn't actually connect to anything now. That's going to connect, isn't it? All right, we don't need this one so much. You know, if we were actually doing a proper technique, we would. Let's drag the cable through here. Let's just get rid of some of this crap here. Yeah, you can't be doing that. I love this thing, shoulder mounted piston. Okay, we're not going to need any of this. But yeah, what I wanted to do in this episode anyway is just go through some of the very basic tools. As you can imagine, they are the Macerator extractor and a compressor. When we look at the, I mean, Buildcraft and Industrialcraft is the beginning, and I think Buildcraft, when everyone says Buildcraft power, don't they? So that basically must mean that Industrialcraft doesn't have any pipes in it. So anything I do with pipes is not actually Industrialcraft, which is kind of like, you know, and that's wired up, you know, so it's kind of, but then again, they both started at the same time. But even so, I get a feeling that you could realistically, do an Industrialcraft sort of playthrough, with very, very little going on in terms of Buildcraft, because yeah. And the first, I mean, funny enough, I noticed that this is Omni Tools made by the guy from Thermal Expansion. And that is actually right in the middle of Buildcraft and Industrialcraft. And I'm going to be doing something on Omni Tools very soon. But so we've got all the Buildcraft stuff. Now, if we move beyond the Buildcraft stuff, you can see we're using the back box at the moment. I believe reinforced glass and reinforced stone have very high blast resistance. That may become important in this series later on when we look at, you know, the different types of reactor and stuff. And windmill, that is going to come a little later, I think. So we can see we've got various different items here. Yeah, so we'd be doing some of the more advanced ones. I mean, recycler, I could almost do that now because that's quite a simple item, really. These are a little bit more higher tier. and then we get onto stuff which is yeah, you know, and then we move on to a different mod. Okay, so let's put it on daytime again, and so this should be about not really full, is it? Well, it's not that bad, I suppose. It's enough. It's enough for this video. So what we're going to do is we're going to want to power this stuff from the bottom, I think. Because that's how these things tend to work. So if we just do a line, we can basically just sort of power them. I mean I'm not sure. I mean, I have a feeling they might work like this, but I don't want to try, you know, if you just do it like this, and then they sort of, you know, I think it's the difference between series and parallel. It's something which I have a feeling I'll probably have to look into again. It may not be in this mod, but in general, that's going to be quite an important issue to deal with. But for now, all we're going to do is I'm just going to put them all on top of this copper wire. Because if you look at, I mean, there's a tool. I mean, this is like, you know, you've basically got wrenches, which is going to be used to orient different blocks, and then you've got the readers, which are used to actually measure some kind of you know, variable on the item in question, normally a wire. And see, this is, it says naught in, naught out, naught gain. So you can see it's already going in that slightly more, you know, like more serious sort of electronics direction. But you know, I don't think that should be a problem. I'm not that good at electronics, but you know, I've looked at quite a lot. I think as long as you know what Wheatstone Bridge is, you'll probably be alright. So there's the extractor. Let's measure this. Okay, there's nothing in it yet. That's probably why. So let's give it something to do. What do I need to put in it? Sap. What's it called, that fucking thing? You know, I've completely fucking forgotten what it's called. Well, one way to find out, isn't there? I think actually this may even, yeah, if you think about it, this must be Industrialcraft, the rubber trees, because otherwise it wouldn't work, otherwise it wouldn't even need this stuff. So in a way, even though I've forgotten, sticky resin is what it is, but it doesn't matter now. And yeah, this is another thing you do in Industrialcraft. You do this. Get your tree tap out. I'm just using the electric one, but I'm sure the other one's fine. And there we go, you get this sticky resin stuff. So if I just get a shitload of sticky resin now. No, I don't want to do that. Yeah, it might help if I actually put this in the right socket. No, I don't need that wire there. And one of these wrenches you actually use to orient the machines. Put some overclockers in there now. Overclockers make everything look faster. But then again, I'm probably getting drained on here. And this is basically how all this stuff works. You look at that, it's going down fast. But yeah, alright, I'm going to take that out because I don't want to waste all my energy. So there we go, that makes rubber. And then from rubber you can actually make the copper cables that I'm using. So there's that. And you can obviously make the... I showed that in the last video anyway. Then the next item we want to do is... we'll try the recycler. May as well do them in a slightly different order. Basically all you do is you just do this stuff. You just connecting it. So let's put them all down, may as well. Generator is no real point because I did so much on that last video that I don't want to repeat myself. Compressor, recycler, yeah, I got rid of the Macerator, didn't I? So here's a compressor. If we look at a compressor recipe, there's a lot of stuff we can compress. It's mainly to get these carbon plates, I think. Oh, it's you use it. You actually use it in a recycler as well. Let's try it. Let's see what we can get out of it. Let's try and get used to all this new stuff. Okay. Put in a few more of these. It's for real, man. Come on, hurry up. Let's get rid of that. What was this in there? Doesn't like coal for some reason. What are you supposed to compress? I remember what it is. Oh, well, that one works. So you can compress. Yeah, I've missed out a step. But the problem is I can't actually, in the moment, I can't actually look up the stuff properly how I want to. Unless I'm doing something. Is that the one? No, that was carbon mesh. Let's see what happens we put in this one. Not much. Alright, that's that anyway. You know what I mean? It's like this is just a this is just a thing because obviously you want to get your carbon plates, don't you? And like yeah, you know, you want to get all that stuff. So you know, you got to use that for some of their boosters in MFFS. I'm gonna have to cover this as well. It's pretty cool. And so the superconductor, that's some of the, you know, some of the crazy gear that you can get at the top with your advanced alloy, which obviously something else to put in the compressor. Let's put that in the compressor then. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you can do with this, with these very basic tools, because a lot of this stuff has been around for a while. So you put that in, you get your advanced alloy, and once you've got advanced alloy and carbon plate, you're moving up the tiers really. And obviously you've got you know, in the right hand column of a lot of these machines, you get these transformer upgrades. Yeah, it's just a speed, and I'm not quite sure what that one does actually. I'm not quite sure what transformer upgrade does, so I'm not going to say it. I have got a guess, but I don't want to really say it. So there's low voltage, medium voltage, and high voltage transformer. You don't really need high voltage transformers, I don't think, for any one thing, but nuclear power, and you're doing like, you know, you're doing stuff with this sort of stuff, which is very, very high voltage, like 2048 EU a tick or something. I don't want to make too many of these things. But yeah, I mean, so what do we look at? There's compressor. What else we got? Recycler. That's a fairly simple one to do. Just get rid of this. You know, I could keep it on, but I don't. I really want to look into how a lot of this stuff is being shared, if you know what I mean, because it makes more sense to me to look at that. You know, how the energy is being shared, and when I do that, I'm going to want to do that in a slightly more. You know, I want it to be a bit more. This is just a bit of fun, really. So the recycler there, as far as I know, it just takes scrap. Actually, no, it doesn't just take scrap. It takes anything actually. Does it take anything? Let's see what else we can put in there. Coal dust. Yeah, it happily takes anything, I think. I wonder if we put in a higher value item, if that's going to affect its output. Because you see, it's only going to produce UU matter very, very rarely. That's the whole point of it. Oh no, it produces scrap. And then from scrap... I'm trying to remember the thing from getting from scrap to UU matter, because that's what people do with it. It may be that this is literally. I'll put a stack in it there anyway. Now the next thing I wanted to do is, yeah, we've looked at quite a lot of this stuff now. You know, it's like when it really comes down to it. I wonder if we actually get a reading off the EU reader now. That'd be nice to actually get that. There it is. One in, one out. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, let me just not do that actually. You know, I like it's good actually the way I'm doing it, because that will. I don't know what that's doing. That doesn't need to be there, does it? Let's see. We might get a better reading. That I think was not how I wanted it to be. So we get the EU. Okay. Still says the same thing. So in other words, the additional connections I had didn't really make much difference. This is still going up and it's still powering this. The scrap is just turning into scrap. That's not what you were supposed to do with it. I wonder if we've got any more clues in here. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to kind of pretty much... Oh yeah, of course, I didn't even do the bloody macerator. The macerator just turns everything into dust, basically. Yeah, I mean, macerator is so overdone, I almost don't want to do it. An electronic circuit is very important. There's two types of electronic circuit. And you know, simple and advanced. I know in ultimate electricity there's 3 types of electronic circuit. But yeah, I mean, so there's basically like a lot you can do with all this stuff. I guess I may as well get one then, because you can see it's not simple. You can't really see what you're doing. So the macerator, I mean, that will do a lot of stuff. These are upgradable. I mean, you know, the upgrades are sort of like rotary. Well, it used to be rotary macerator. I'm not sure. Maybe I think they're changing it though. So I may never get to use a rotary macerator, but then again, what I'll probably get to use will be better. I don't know if there's actually any current. Let me just... Oh yeah, there is. So yeah, I mean, if you get, for instance, let's try iron ingot and more overclockers. So we get iron dust, gold ingot, I wonder if we can put obsidian in there. Might be able to. Gold dust. And at some point I want to set up this system with a factorization router as well. Not going to do anything? Nope. It's not happy. If we can put something like electrum in there. No, it doesn't like it. Coal, you want to do that? That will make coal dust. So there's not much point doing that. But yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. And then the only thing that we haven't really touched on at all is the batteries. You get reusable batteries, single-use batteries, and then it all goes into, you know, battery. This is factorization, charging benches. There's all sorts of stuff which I'm going to get into, but that will have to wait for another time. Thanks for watching.